Okay. So you're asking me why I don't get a desktop. Hey guys, what's up?
Yo, what's
My
going
name's
on?
my name's Ramiro, and this is my co-host, Rich Matic.
What's
What's up?
going on?
Hey guys, we're 5 episodes in. We're going strong. We got 10 subscribers on YouTube, but go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're listening to, so you can get us to 20.
Oh, yeah, we got to 11.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was telling some people about it during your stream on Twitch, and some other people about it. Oh, on some other Discord, and I think they joined, or one of them joined.
Yeah, Karu was like,
Somebody
oh
joined.
shit, I want to be on it. I'm like, damn, you didn't even subscribe first? I'm like, come on, Karu. Shit, man.
Yeah, he messaged me on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Rich would love that." I just totally forgot about it. I made him a clip on Twitch, and he liked it, but he was just like, "Hey man, why isn't it 60 FPS?" And I it defaulted to 30.
I'm
I don't
like,
know.
look, you're missing the point. Just be happy with what I did for you. Jerk.
I did want to say that, but then I was like, he was. I think he was a little tilted because of the stream because he died. So he was playing Apex Legends. Hey guys, Ramiro right here, Apex Legend noob. He was playing Apex Legends, and he got shot. He got shot, and in Apex Legends, once you your health bar runs out, you get like a second health bar where you can crawl around to safety,
Mm-hmm.
and your teammate can revive you if your that second health bar doesn't run out. So he got shot. He's crawling around in his second health bar, and then I think someone throws a grenade nearby, and it kind of propels him into the lava, and he just falls down a cliff. And that's the clip I made, but he seemed really tilted after that. I was just like, that sucks.
Hey, man. I mean, it's a shooting game. You get shot a lot, I would imagine. So,
Yeah, but it is what it is. So you're asking why I don't have a laptop. Well, I
yeah,
mean, why I
a
have a desktop.
desktop.
What kind of desktop do you have?
Me, it was made by Digital Storm, but it's not like a top of the line Digital Storm. It's more like lower end.
I've never even heard of Digital Storm.
Oh, they do like custom PCs, one of those companies, kind of like
Oh,
Main
okay.
Gear and shit.
I got mine from an exotic PC, which is probably really similar.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Okay. Um. Well, here's the thing. I move around a lot. I have lived in a different city almost every year for the last like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I've learned a lot from moving is I hate lugging shit around.
Yeah.
So like the last time I moved from Texas to California, I got rid of a lot. Dude, I had like a good collection of Blu-rays and games, and I got rid of almost all of them.
Oh, okay.
Um I gave away some of them, and I gave away like half of them. The other half I sold to a what's it called?
Pawn
It's
shop.
it's a bookstore where you can sell like your old college books.
Oh, uh, I guess they just call them college bookstores these days.
Yeah, it was like a college bookstore. It was a mainstream one. I can't remember the name. A book and a half or something like that.
Oh,
I
I
legit,
think I know what you're talking about. Well, I know one of the online ones that you could use to like search for like used college books to get them like discounted because they do cost a lot. So yeah.
so it was one of those stores, and I went in there and I sold the other half of those like movies and games, and that was like $70 when they were each one was like $1.
Damn, that's a good
Yeah,
price.
like
Well, I mean, for the person buying.
yeah. But I mean, it's just I just had so much stuff, and whenever you move around a lot, like it's exciting, but after like your second or third move, it gets you look at your shit and you're just like, I'm getting real tired of dragging you around.
Yeah, I think that's a
Because
main
you
reason why people adopt like that minimalist lifestyle.
hmm
Yeah.
and for because the only thing I really have in my room is like this bed over here, my clothes in the back. Um, there's a couple things in the closet, like some like collectibles. No, not collectibles, but just stuff from my past. I guess like I have a shoebox full of old letters that I used to write to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a green sculpture you can kind of see in the back that I made when I was in high school. And then I just have the TV, light, laptop, PlayStation 4, some shoes, and I don't have a lot of clothes, which is why you see me wearing like the same clothes a lot.
That's cool.
And that's kind of it. I really don't like buying more things than I need.
Yeah, that's a good philosophy that I think a lot of Americans should adopt, but probably won't.
It's a philosophy that my stomach should adopt because I could be so much more thinner if I literally just didn't eat more than what I needed.
Hey
I
man,
say that as I sip my soda.
we are all about that consumption life.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Consume, don't
America.
ask questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, dude, that song, "This is America," by what's his name, Gambino.
E.
Yeah, Donald Glover. Donald Glover. Um, dude, that's a good fucking song. I really like the music video of that song.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that he's an alien because it's like everything he does is just amazing.
Yeah, he was scripted for a Deadpool show, and I don't know
Yeah,
why they didn't go forward with it.
I remember that.
Like, yeah, it wasn't bad at all. He leaked the script that he was working on it on the internet too.
That's such a Ryan Reynolds move.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, uh, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's annoying. Anyway, how's your week been? I talked a lot.
Oh no, I think people enjoy that talk. But man, my week has been pretty good, man. Got a whole bunch of random job offers. I'm like literally living like Persona 5 basically. Every time I meet a new person, it's a new opportunity and shit. Um Playing a bunch of Dead by Daylight. I played this guy Zyme. He's part of the DOA community who also happens to be one of the best Zelda mains in Smash Bros. And I took him
Oh, is that why you
on.
were playing? Is that why you were playing Smash Bros?
Yeah. And I took
Oh,
him
okay.
on not knowing this, right? And he mollywops the shit out of me. And, I see a little bit of what he's doing. Like, I'm catching on to him, like, canceling frames. Because I'm like, that animation shouldn't work like that. Like, he's just skipping frames and making these moves safe. Because, of course, when you do a move, they have recovery frames, right? So he's doing this move, and it's like he has zero recovery frames. He can just jump into another move or instantly shield. I'm like, what is happening with this Zelda character? And then later he tells me, he was like, oh yeah, I'm one of the best Zelda players in the world. And I was doing some like canceling some of the frames out to make my move safe. Otherwise I would die. I was like, oh yeah, I had a feeling. Like, you can watch the clips on my stream. That's not me trying to plug it, just me explaining the situation. Because fighting games are always really interesting to me. So that was cool. Shout
Yeah.
outs to Zion. And I didn't do too much other than that. Hung out with my friend Joe, who I haven't seen in a minute, who gave me this.
Oh shit, Legend of Korra.
Yeah,
I
he
haven't seen that.
let me borrow this, so I'm like, hell yeah, Legend of Korra on Blu-ray. I'm about to watch this.
Oh, that's dope.
Give
Have
my
you started
thoughts.
or not?
Not yet. He gave it to me today. So
Oh shit, that's fantastic.
yeah, can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna watch Korra. I'll check it out at some point because I'm really interested in what it is. I don't know why people say it's bad. It doesn't look bad,
Yeah, look
and
cool.
at this point, I'm also convinced people that say it's bad just hate it because there's just something that they don't like, other than where it's objectively bad.
Probably because it's always hard for a sequel to measure up to the original, even if they have different themes. People really get attached to those themes and kind of that world and how it is, so it's kind of hard to capture that same magic, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Playing
but
devil's advocate.
no, you're right. I just think people just get too. I don't know. Like they're very quick to dislike stuff
No, I
for
think you're right about that too.
for things that they don't like understand,
Yeah.
or maybe don't understand, or just straight up just don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's cool. My week, I I spent the first half of the week editing an Apex Legends video that I put on my channel.
Which is
Um,
good. I still think
you
crypto's
guys,
super cool though.
no, dude, he has a. So you know how he's all like techie and stuff.
Yeah.
There's an outfit that he has that he can get where he looks like a goddamn rapper. Um,
He
no,
kind of.
no, no, yeah, and he's got a tattoo on his chest because it's an open chest jacket,
Yeah.
and it says a big chest tattoo that says Spectrum on it.
Oh, he's okay. Hmm. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna judge which spectrum that is, but it's interesting.
He, it's meant for like internet spectrum.
That could also be
But
anything too.
yeah, but I mean, it's just, I just think it's cool that says fucking spectrum.
That's cool.
Um, but yeah, so he's got that, and but yeah, so the video was on crypto. It took me a while to get it together. And then the other thing too is that I started working on this other video for Marie Rose. So while editing for videos, I put it in the Discord chat if you want to see it. But while editing videos, I was watching a lot of YouTube, like a shit ton of YouTube.
Oh my
Like,
god, he looks like Tekashi 6ix9ine with this. It's very colorful.
yeah, a little bit, yeah, huh? With the hair,
Yeah.
too. If his hair was rainbow colored, but yeah, dude, that's one of the best skins in the game for me. That's such a cool skin. I love it when people that make skins for their characters get like really dorky and absurd and just go to extremes with it.
For sure.
So like I'm working on this Marie Rose video. While I'm working on that, I started like watching all these different YouTubes. I'm actually going through, okay, let's see what YouTube would recommend, and I'm going through all the recommendation feeds, and I found a couple of fucking banger YouTube channels.
Oh.
So one of them is Alizy. She's kind of UK, almost like commentary channel.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, which I think I talked about like an episode or two ago, was Dr. Grande. He does like psychology analysis of a lot of murders and killers. But recently, he because of all these apology videos going out, he looks at apology videos, and he does like he psychoanalyzes them, which is great to have a professional looking at all this dumb YouTube drama.
We might have to study up on those because I feel like we're like one video away from that.
Yeah, the other one is D'Angelo Wallace. He's this young dude who's really well spoken and does like really like well edited videos where he'll talk for like 20 minutes to an hour on a particular subject.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just like I have a little bit of appreciation of just listening to the stuff while I'm trying to work and do some other things, and then because stuff is getting recommended, some stuff from years ago is getting recommended, from like some old Jon Stewart episodes to old IGN content to just old Eminem music videos.
I miss old IGN videos, man. Good times. Good times. Back in like Dreamcast, PlayStation 1 games where like a game trailer was like amazing to watch for the first time. You didn't even know it was coming out. There was no announcement. It just dropped and you saw it. I miss those days.
I remember when PS1 and Nintendo 64, like, games just didn't have a release date.
Yeah,
like, you would hear. I remember
showed up as far as I knew.
Yeah, I remember reading about them like in a Game Informer magazine or something, or electronic, whatever it was called.
Oh yeah, EGM.
Yeah, EGM. And I remember reading about them and like knowing that they were coming out, and then like once a month probably going to the store and checking if it was out.
Yeah. They would show like screenshots, but you couldn't even tell if the screenshots were legit. They were almost like fake.
Yeah, I got burnt out by 2 games because I was way too hyped for them at the time. One of them was, I don't know if you ever played it, but it was called Dragon Ball Z Sagas.
No.
So it was for the PS2. This was released after. Did you ever play Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1, 2, or 3?
Budokai Tenkaichi. 1, 2, and 3.
Not Tenkaichi.
Oh.
Not Tenkaichi. There was Dragon Ball Z Budokai, then there's 2, then there's 3. Then there was Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. And then that turned into Tenkaichi 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I played the Tenkaichi series. That was the 2D one, right? Or was that the 3D one over the shoulder?
It was like a 3D one.
Okay, I played the 2D one. So that might not be...
The 2D fighter?
Yeah, the 2D fighter.
Well, I mean, technically it works. It plays like a 2D fighter, but it was in 3D.
Yeah, it's in
like
3D. Yeah, I played that one.
Okay, that might have been Budokai Budokai 2 or Budokai 3. Well, anyway, Budokai 3 came out. Legitimately a good fighting game. I don't know. They re-released it for the PS3. It's not bad at all. It's really cool. It's simple but a little complicated. I really, really like it a lot, even to this day. It has a Super Saiyan 4 Goku in it. Was really cool, really, really fucking powerful. Like you'd have a maximum of like seven health bars,
Yeah,
and like with one of his attacks, even though he only has like two or three attacks, if one of them just lands, it takes a whole health bar away.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, it's really. I'm thinking about it back then. It's kind of dumb, but anyway, Dragon Ball Z Sagas came out after Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, and I thought it was going to be another cool Dragon Ball Z fighting game that I got really into, and it totally wasn't, and it ended up being a beat 'em up. It ended up being a shitty beat 'em up where you play through up until the Cell Saga, and then when you beat the main game, you can unlock Broly, and that was the whole game.
That's it.
It was it was the first game that I think I beat in one day, and I think it was like 5 hours long.
Ooh,
And it was the first one of the first times I felt super burnt out. Like me getting hyped for a game, reading about it, and then getting it, not knowing what I'm getting into, and then just like finishing it, going like I have wasted $50.
yeah. I honestly didn't
Yeah.
feel like ripped off or burnt out until I started getting older. Before then, games just seemed magical. They always seemed kind of like they were always good, at least.
hmm
Yeah.
The other game was the this one this was made by EA, but it was called EA had a Marvel license for a while, and it was called Marvel's Nemesis:
Oh
Rise of the
shit.
Imperfects.
I remember that game. That
And once again,
shitty fucking fighting game.
it played like a beat 'em up, just like Dragon Ball Z Sagas. Probably why I got burnt out. But then it wanted to be almost like an arena brawler, and kind of go through the story. And it even my 14-year-old brain could tell that it was a very shitty story.
Yeah.
It was just not a good story. The new characters they introduced, even though I look back at it now and I'm like, okay, that was kind of cool backstory. Just not very interesting. They were copy and paste characters of other characters like Iron Man or
The
Spider Man
Imperfects.
or yeah, Wolverine. They're like clones, but they fought like clones too. Just and then the thing that's like is that it was just very unbalanced, like very terribly unbalanced. It was the first time I ever once again noticed that you can make a game unbalanced because you would have a hero like the Thing. You're like, okay, cool, but he only has three attacks. He's got a punch, a second punch, and a throw. And then kind of like this weird fatality move that some of them would get. And then you would have a character like Iron Man who could not only could he punch, not only could he throw, but he also had projectiles and he could fly.
Dude, I played that at a friend's house, and it was like, dude, this game's ass. We got to play like Children of the Atom or something. Fuck this game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was and yeah, Magneto was in it too for a little bit too, and he was super underwhelming because I always thought Magneto was super strong. He had these metal marbles that he attacked with, and they were his projectiles, and that was literally it. He could fly. That was literally it. It was just you would have characters that would have like 7 or 8 moves, and then other characters that would just have 2. And also, not only have 2 moves, but also be their stats would also be weak.
At least they told you.
Yeah, but no, that's that was a tangent, but that's kind of what I've been doing just this week. Is just watching a shit ton of YouTube videos.
No, that's good. I like when YouTubers say that they watch other YouTube channels, and it's interesting to hear what they watch. Because I feel like once you get to YouTube, it kind of eclipses TV, because TV is just kind of, it's so manufactured, and YouTube just has such a good authenticity with people.
Well, with TV, it's appointment television. It's like, oh, you want to watch the show? Well, it starts at 7. Do you work at 7? Well, sucks to be you. Like, not only does it suck to be you, but like, if you want to watch it before 7, all right, well, fuck you. Oh, you want to watch afterwards? Oh, better hope your DVR's recording it.
Yeah, I can't stand TV. It's like once I found YouTube, I couldn't go back to TV unless it's like a really good quality TV show. I can watch it, but
even then, I just wait for it to come out. The last show that I kept up with as new episodes were coming out was The Office, and there was this other game show that on Comedy Central that I really like with Chris Hardwick. That it got canceled because I think someone I could be wrong, but I think someone pressed like sexual harassment allegations against him.
That sounds like some 2020 shit.
Yeah, but it was a fun show, dude. He would have like Ron Funches on there, and they would answer all these stupid questions. I really recommend just going back and like watching it. It was cool to see Comedy Central do something different. It was a legit game show.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't really win anything. It was about internet culture. No, no, no. I think like when a person won, it's like congratulations, you won the internet.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
They would have comedians on it all the time, or just celebrities,
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes YouTubers. Like it was a good mix of what I want. Like sometimes I want to see YouTubers on television. Sometimes I want to see actors on YouTube, and it was a dumb game show that I just think did a really good job of mixing them together.
I feel like actors on YouTube would be like the Eric Andre show.
Yeah. Well, oh, dude. So actors on YouTube. I was watching that TikTok show.
Oh
The
god,
hospital
the
one?
TikTok show. Oh fuck.
Okay, so did you see did you see the second episode?
No, I've only watched the first.
Okay, okay. So there's a dude. He has his like, I don't know. He got a cut or laceration up here. He looked like someone punched him in the face, but the makeup on it looks so bad. Like it's just not good. It looks like you can look at it going like, oh, this is makeup. This is actual makeup on his thing, and it's wild because he like it's just I don't know, like it is as bad as you said last week where yeah, the acting the acting is it's not good.
Yeah.
It's it is what it is what it is. The people in it are way too young, way too young.
Yep.
Like there's just it makes no sense that they're there. Like why do you have middle schoolers around you?
I mean, it's a good practice because they're still gonna get views because they're TikTok kids, so the kids are gonna click that video, and you know that's
Okay.
who gets the most clicks on YouTube is white kids in America, which is it's just what it is.
So if anybody wants to see that show I was talking about earlier with Chris Hardwick, it's called At Midnight with Chris Hardwick. It is the best game show I've ever seen. It's so funny. It's so good. It's like almost reminds me a little bit of Cards Against Humanity,
Oh yeah.
but like in game show form with actors and YouTubers and other comedians and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, you ready to get into some gaming shit?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let me pull up the docket because I do not. I had it up. I don't have it up.
Yeah, the first one was that awesome trailer for Gamer Girl, the game based on the Twitch
Oh,
stream,
boy.
based on the movie, based on the game.
Based on IRL.
Yeah,
That
what an interesting game.
Yeah, that was very, very cringe.
I love watching
I haven't seen it, but
train wrecks happen. As soon as I saw that trailer, I was like, this is gonna have a lot of great
dude,
takes.
the moment I saw Gamer Girl and it was Slasher who tweeted it, and I was just like, I was reading through the tweet, and then I didn't even look at the video. I was going through the comments. I was like, wait, this isn't a parody? And then I looked at the first like couple of seconds of it and just kind of skimmed around. I was like, oh man. No, why would you release? Why would you think this is a good idea?
I thought it was a parody too until I saw the PS4 and the Switch logo and Xbox. I'm like, oh, this might be real.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was like, oh man, I wonder if they're even going to I don't even know if they're going to release that game anymore.
Dog, they 100% need to release that game. I want to see it played. I want to see what happens in this game. I'm very curious. I love train wrecks on the internet.
Yeah, I don't know if I have no idea what's gonna happen. Like I just don't know how they can release it, and people are gonna buy it just to see that it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how they can release it in good faith at this point.
I don't know, but somebody's getting canceled. I don't know who's getting canceled, but somebody's getting canceled.
Yeah, it's just like, oh man, I just don't even know. I This reminds me of that dating game that came out, I think, like 2 years
Oh,
ago.
I was talking about that with my friend with that really cringe guy, and you have all the options,
Yeah,
and you can say some really wild shit. Of course, I'm gonna pick all the
yeah,
bad options because I want to see what happens. That's what I'm gonna do.
yeah, yeah, and it's gonna be like a stream simulator too, because I'm reading the article right now,
Yeah,
and it's just I don't know. This is just
it's
weird.
super cringe, dude.
Like,
Like you have to be a mod, right? And then you have to like guide her to like make smart decisions to protect her. So in a way, you're kind of being like a white knight. It's also kind of creepy because you're telling her what to do, and she's the streamer. So,
yeah, and I don't know why they wouldn't have just put in a guy option and just called it streamer the game.
oh yeah, then you'd just be a guy and you'd be streaming and you'd have like 1 or 2 views for 3 months, and no one
Yeah,
will watch your
and you can
shit.
just
And
you you can choose to be a guy or you can choose to be a girl, and then they can each have their own issues.
yeah, yeah, your issue is with being a guy is no one wants to watch your fucking content, and you're just a sea of, you're just a copy of a copy of a copy.
Yeah, um, I mean, it's just I don't get it, man. I just don't. I would once again. I know I said it before, but I would like to be in the board meeting to see who is the person that says this is a good idea. I'm gonna get started on it right now.
I could see where their heads are at, wanting to make a game to like maybe show the perspective of like a female streamer on Twitch or any streaming platform, and what they have to go through, the abuse or harassment. That would be a really good concept. It's just you would have to have the right execution to pull it off.
Yeah,
And calling it gamer girl is probably not the best idea. And having someone be a mod in her chat is probably not the best idea either.
no, yeah. I like it could have been done a couple of different ways, where it just I don't know. The whole thing comes off as super cringe. Comes out, and then the way it was marketed it made it seem like, oh, you can make the difference in this person's
Yeah,
life.
it definitely marketed that way, 100%.
Yeah, it could have been, it could have totally been something else.
Yeah, they should have
But
consulted some of the big female streamers and kind of got their feedback before they, released the game. Or even when it was in like concept phases, they should have probably consulted more people. Maybe they did, but I feel like if they consulted more of them, it would probably have turned out differently.
or what they should have done is they should have like started the trailer with like, oh, we are, we reached out to multiple female streamers and they worked with us personally on this project.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know, just something other than what they showed.
yeah.
Anything.
But I can assume, based on what that trailer is and how the game is, that they did not consult a lot of female streamers. That would be my
No.
estimated guess.
Oh, dude, it would be hilarious if the only people that worked on that game were guys.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was mostly guys and maybe like 2 females. I would not be
Yeah,
surprised.
and then what if the two females were going like, "Hey, this might be a bad idea," and then the guys were like, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This is gonna be a fantastic game."
That's when they released the behind the scenes footage, and it's just like, oh god, this was doomed from the start. Speaking of doom,
But yeah, that was a real thing that did happen in the world earlier this week.
yeah, I'd love to hear some thoughts on what you guys think in the comments, because I think this one's not gonna die for a while.
Yeah, no, this is gonna turn into a meme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the other thing that happened is Ghost of Tsushima came out and it's getting a lot of different reviews.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the game looks good. Like all my friends are streaming
Did you
it.
play it?
No, I haven't. Well, actually, yeah, I played a little bit of it today at my friend's house.
How is it?
It was fun. The combat's pretty good. It feels like it's what Assassin's Creed should be if it was set in Ghost of Tsushima's era, with Mongols and whatnot, or Mongolians. Sorry, and it's fun. It's the combat's good, the story's interesting, the character models are beautiful, the setting is beautiful. The game runs really well on PlayStation 4, surprisingly. But
So you know how the bad guys are Mongolians?
yeah,
You want to hear something super fucked up about Mexican culture that involves
oh
Mongolians?
god, okay.
All right. Okay. I want you to take a guess. Take a quick guess on what it could be that Mongolians and Mexicans have some kind of connection together.
They murdered people in
Okay.
very creative ways.
No, but I mean yes, but no. So, in Mexico, up until I think like 20 to 30 years ago, the legal term for for calling someone retarded was the Spanish word for Mongolian, which was Mongolito.
Oh my god. Okay.
And that was a real thing. Because I remember sometimes I would have an aunt or an uncle that would call me that shit when I was little. But then they wouldn't want us telling that to other people.
Yeah, I would imagine. They said it,
And
but
I
then they
remember,
tried to clean it up. Like, hey, don't take this
Yeah,
outside of
yeah.
the household. This just
Yeah.
stays here.
But
All
yeah,
right.
but you can look it up. It was the real term that a lot of people, including doctors, were using up until recently.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's yeah, just look up Mongolito.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now they're trying to. I looked it up, and like the second thing that popped up is on Urban Dictionary,
Oh
and it
shit.
says Mongolito means retard in Spanish.
See, that's why I tried to clean myself up when I said Mongols, because I'm like, that might come out as like mongrels or some like,
Oh, mongrels, that's a real
yeah,
word
some like
too. Huh?
evil term for like Mongolians, which I don't want to use.
I totally forgot mongrels was a
Yeah,
word. That probably
that's
came from the word
definitely, yeah, I
Mongol.
wouldn't be surprised if it came from that.
Oh, that's hilarious. It's hilarious in a fucked up way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, look it up if you want. Mongolians in Spanish, and it's I I was very surprised it was something that doctors were saying for a very long time.
Jesus Christ.
But back to Tsushima.
No, it's a beautiful game. It looks good. It should be getting great reviews. One thing I did notice is that it was on, what's that review site everyone goes on?
Metacritic.
Yeah, Metacritic. So they like I think they waited like an extra day before they started allowing user reviews.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. So that's the thing now.
That's what they should have been doing from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Because so many games get unfairly review bombed just because anyone can. It's like Amazon. Anyone can review an item whether you bought it or not.
Yeah. Nothing's
Um,
funnier than gamers getting mad and reviewing a game before when they haven't even played it. I'm like, that is some wild shit.
Dude, if anyone's listening that watches subreddit, start a subreddit for funny ass reviews. I would love to see that shit.
I think I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube that do that. They've definitely done it for
Yeah, 'cause,
Tekken 7.
What were the reviews for Tekken 7?
It was either
I remember people.
Main Man or someone who read some Tekken 7 reviews on Metacritic. It was really fucking funny.
That game was getting a whole bunch. So I don't play Tekken, but I remember from doing review on a DOA 6 video, Tekken 7 was getting a bunch of shit because they were adding Lucky Chloe to the roster.
Yeah. I can imagine every
Yeah, it was
time
very-
that they added a character that was unfair or someone didn't like, they went straight to Metacritic and was like, fuck this game. I hate Lucky Chloe. Leroy is broken as fuck. Fakunram's a piece of shit.
Yeah, Leroy was a cool character. That's such a cool character, man. Leroy.
Oh man, he almost broke Tekken 7 though. He was cheap as shit.
Yeah.
And even I know that. That was
Yeah.
due to the game.
Oh man, yeah, he was, dude. I really like his character design. It's so.
Oh
cool.
yeah, we
So
all
well
love the
done.
character design, but he was busted. He was busted, bro. He was so busted.
Yeah. The little dog thing was cool. Isn't there like a random chance that it can hit you or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's like RNG whether the dog will come out and hit you or he'll just sit there and like look at you and then run away.
That's great. That's cool. But yeah, the other thing that's really cool with Ghost of Tsushima is the wind effects in that game look really fucking sick.
Yeah.
Just from watching videos. Like the way the grass is moving back and forth, it reminds me a lot of the Wind Waker.
Oh yeah. And that's a mechanic to get you to your next objective.
Oh,
You follow the wind.
did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
and then the other thing the reviews came out were for Paper Mario the Origami King, which is told which apparently has a really cool story. But it's man, the fighting style is just not Paper Mario.
Yeah, I heard it sucked, to be honest.
Well, you don't get they've been doing this thing for a while now where you don't get experience during fights. And it's annoying because what that means is that why are you fighting?
Exactly. You're not
Why don't you just run
leveling
away?
up. What's the point?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like eventually I'm going to want to play Origami King. Just I'm really interested in that story. But it's just I just don't I don't well, I know why. I know why. I bookmarked the tweet. Hold up. Shit, I think I bookmarked a tweet. I saved it to a place that's not on my computer. I saved it to my phone. Okay, but the tweet that was bookmarked, it goes over various interviews between Miyamoto and some other people high up in Nintendo, Iwata and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it was talking basically about why is it that Paper Mario, um, why do shit, I think I deleted it. Well, basically, it was going over like why is it that as more Paper Mario games have come out, that there's less and less new characters added. Why is there a story like? I believe Miyamoto wanted to get rid of the story altogether in Paper Mario. He didn't see why Mario needed a story.
What the hell? You started Paper Mario with a good story with creative characters. It was a RPG. That was why we liked the series to start with. So why wouldn't we want that in more Paper Mario games?
Oh yeah, here we go.
Like there was one
Oh, man,
Paper Mario game where every character was Toad. Why the fuck would I want to play that?
So this is so this is God, this is a really thick kind of like document. I'll go over some of it. So because it has a lot of Nintendo people in here, as well as producers for past Paper Mario games,
Mm-hmm.
as well as the producer for this Paper Mario game. By the way, for you guys who don't know, Shigeru Miyamoto, does not like Toad, and he does not like how Americans like Toad.
Then why did they make a game of Paper Mario with nothing but toads?
That's a good question. Well, I think at this point, I believe that the original Paper Mario was made with some Nintendo supervision, and then the second Paper Mario, which is gangster as fuck,
Yeah.
was made with no Nintendo supervision. And then Nintendo saw Thousand Years Door after it came out, and they're just like, why the fuck is Mario a thug in this game? And then they're like, we're rechanging everything Paper Mario is. But this is back in 2020. This is from this is a conversation between Aoyama and Iwata and at E3. They're getting interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying that at the beginning of development, we were simply incorporating an idea that making use of the 3D function on the 3DS. Then at the 2010 E3, before the release of the Nintendo 3DS, we revealed several images. So why did it drag up until now? After E3, Miyamoto-san played the prototype and said it was just a port of the GameCube version, the Thousand Year Door. I had heard that first that Miyamoto-san said that something like an RPG would be fine, so for a while I thought that something like the previous titles would be fine. That must have meant that you hadn't done much that was new. Which you did not like that you said that. Right, so he wondered what to do. Then the idea of using stickers came up. Originally, the plan was to use stickers that were there to solving puzzles and on the overall map and so forth. But then we thought if we're going to do that, we might as well use stickers for the whole thing, including battles. And we decided to begin rethinking the game mechanics.
So it's Miyamoto's fault that we got these crappy Paper Mario games.
He has a huge. He definitely has like an imposing figure at the
All
time.
right,
Like,
all right.
It's just it seems like
2020
with Paper Mario, yes.
We're canceling Miyamoto for ruining Paper Mario. We're coming at you, Miyamoto. I know people love you now, but you ruined Paper Mario.
So
Got
this
to
was
be canceled. I'm coming for you.
So on asked whether a remaster is a possibility of and they're on this they're talking about 3 games. They're talking about Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, and Super Paper Mario, all 3 which were made by the same team.
Yeah, which were good games. The third one was okay, but the first 2 are my favorite.
The third one just didn't have as many RPG elements as the other 2.
But the story was really good. It was cool.
Yeah. So on a remaster, Ash, as Andre touched earlier, the game looks fantastic. Have you considered the idea of remastering the old Paper Mario in high definition like the Thousand Year Door? And then Tabata says, if we made it, would you buy it? And then
Yes.
the interviewer says, yeah, absolutely. And then Tabata says, I think if we hear that a lot, that's certainly something that we'll have to think about. But then they don't mention like anything else.
Oh my god! First of all, it's not going to happen because Nintendo doesn't remake games, man.
Dude, well, the thing is that they've re-released so many other games on the classic.
Yeah, they'll re-release them,
but they won't. Paper Mario games have not been re-released for whatever reason.
Not even on the Wii Nintendo store.
Nope.
Damn.
Nope. Thousand Year Door has never been re-released.
Come on, Nintendo. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, and then this is a long quote, but this is Miyamoto's views on story in the Mario series. So
I feel like this is gonna piss me off.
Yeah, a little bit. I just feel that Mario games are something that should be much more bright and active experience. With the Mario games, you don't need to have such a complicated setting where you have these particular characters with complicated backstories that can weigh down the bright fun and feel of the game. Mr. Koizumi is the type of person that whenever we're working on a new Mario game, he always wants to bring more story elements into it, as he did with Super Mario Galaxy. But in talking to him this time, he agrees and feels that Galaxy 2, there won't be a need for as deep of a story. Well, I put a stop to that at the beginning this time, Miyamoto said, and for an emphasis, punched the air with his fist. So he said, I put a stop to this at the beginning this time, and then he punched his fist in the air. They always want to have these dramatic scenes where Princess Peach gets kidnapped, but I always tell them, no, it's fine. Princess Peach likes cake. So you can just have them use cake as bait to kidnap Princess Peach, and that's enough. I was thinking that they could have had these big ships come in, and they've got these big chains all over them, and they drop a plate of cake with it. And then the other guy talking continues. The situation is totally different now. There are so many people with different job titles, but back then, the people who wrote the manuals often became the people who came up with most of the backstory in the entire game. The first real game work I did was on Link's Awakening, but at that time, I came in to write the manual, as I did with the previous game. But they had nothing in place, so I ended up making an entire story to go along with the game. The dream, the island, that was all mine. And so that was my first experience doing the kind of work that you would now call event design. But there were not many people at the time with the expertise in that area, so I really had free reign over what I wanted as long as it didn't make Miyamoto angry.
We should stop talking about Paper Mario.
Yeah, there's so goddamn much in here. Like I'm not gonna read all of it.
Good job, Miyamoto. Because no one wants to have a story in a Mario game. Of course, come on, dude. Princess Peach is getting baited with cake. What the fuck is this, man? Oh my god. Damn, dude.
Yeah. Here's Miyamoto's views on Toads.
Stop.
Entertainment. This is in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, where they ask, "Who's your least favorite character?" Miyamoto laughs. Toad. Entertainment Weekly. My favorite character is your least favorite character. Understand that he has some popularity somehow.
So, When you
Uh,
could have stepped
there's
in
a
to save us from that disaster where Paper Mario was nothing but toads, you didn't step in. But when it comes to
yeah.
Mario not having a story of Paper Mario, you'll step in, okay? What is
Well, I'll
going
post
on
this.
here?
I'm gonna put this on the webcam. You should be able to see it though. As you can see, these are the different Toad designs from the first Paper Mario game, the ones at top. The second one are from the Thousand Year Door, and then the bottom ones are for every other Paper Mario game ever released after that.
I'm not talking about Paper Mario anymore.
All right,
What's the next subject, man?
all right. Anyway, I am gonna get a Bugs Fable sometime this week, which is like the
Yeah,
successor
we'll
to
play a
Paper
real
Mario.
Paper Mario game.
Yeah, exactly. I'm excited. I'm gonna get on Wednesday, probably Wednesday or Thursday.
I'll get it
But
when you get it so we can play it and then compare.
oh, that'd be pretty cool. I've never done that before.
Yeah.
Like play a game alongside somebody.
Yeah, like comparing
That'd be
sizes,
that.
man. Good times.
I'm not crossing my stream there. We don't sword fight on this stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jeff Keighley, he was texting.
He was texting you?
I don't know why.
Okay. You got the insider scoop? Lay it on me, dog.
He was personally telling me how the friction of the controller feels against his hands. Um, dude, I laughed when I saw his tweet. I don't know why. I thought it was so funny that he tweeted that. Look, I'm holding the PS5 controller. Because in my mind, I'm just like, it's just a controller. Like, it's literally no gameplay, nothing new. It was just a picture of the controller. I was laughing hard when I saw him tweeting like 20 different pictures of this controller.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get some more information, like the battery life and all kinds of shit. They just completely skipped all that shit. I was like, oh, damn.
No, there's just like,
haptic feedback.
there's the controller from the front, from the side, from the back, from the other side, from the top, from the back. Like, it was so useless, man. I hated
Yeah,
it.
like,
I hated
Good sir, have I told you about haptic feedback? but
like, it would have been cool. It would just been cool if they did literally anything else with it. Anything else. Anything else. They could have said that there's a shopping button. You can press a button and you can instantly buy something on the PSN store.
Yeah.
Just anything.
Oh, I'm a fan of the Dualsense. I think it's a very, very cool looking controller. I think that
It is very cool.
It is a little bit bigger than the PS4 controller, which is cool because I'm a fan of heavier controllers. So yeah.
I'm okay. I don't know, man. So this is a PS4 controller right here. I don't mind it. The only thing I don't like is that I wish I hate it when I have to play a game and I have to do the claw. I hate that.
The claw.
Yeah, like I wish like sometimes when I play Apex, so you know how you hold your controller like this?
Mm-hmm.
I'll do something like this. Where I'm just like doing like
because you have a jump button.
I don't like doing that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's why most people remap it to the triggers.
Yeah, I do that, but then that also changes the function of where another thing should be.
Yeah, it does.
That's the thing is that Apex has too many buttons. That's the problem with controllers is that any game that has too many buttons really kind of fucks up the design.
Yeah, the only thing that pisses me off about the PS4 controller is just the battery life. That shit dies like every fucking time I start gaming.
It's literally like 3 hours.
Yeah, they say it's 4, but it's more like 3.
Yeah, and then it's part of it's so bad because you can't turn off the stupid light.
Yeah, you can dim it. That's about it.
You can't turn it off though. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's I like the PS4 controller a lot. I like it way better than the PS3 controller. I went back and played I was playing Final Fantasy 13 last year. And one thing I noticed from the PS3 is that those triggers, I don't know how people play Call of Duty back then because like on this controller,
they're just like buttons.
For example. Well, it's not just buttons, but you press the button and it stops. The PS3 controller goes all the way to the back up here.
Mm-hmm.
And for some shooters, like it won't register unless you actually press it all the way back. So it just after using it for like a couple of hours, it made my fingers actually just really hurt more than they should have.
Okay. Yeah.
But
I don't remember liking the PS3 controller too much. I just thought it was another PlayStation controller.
Yeah,
I remember it being kind of
it
like,
had the 6 axis.
yeah, I hated the 6 axis thing. It was so trash.
That was so light. It didn't get heavier until the DualShock 3 came out. Then it was like felt like a real controller.
Yeah, it annoyed me. But also the Wii controller annoyed me with that shit a lot, like the tilting and all that. I'm like, just let me point and
Um,
let's call it a day.
that wasn't too bad. What I what actually, you know what I actually used the 6 axis for? This is kind of, did you on the PS3? I don't think you ever did, or maybe you did. Did you ever play a game called Warhawk?
No.
Okay, it was a third-person shooter. Honestly, at this point, it was probably the first like real online battle royale game because there was a game mode where you could put I think it was like 32. Yeah, I think it was 32 people, and you could do a free for all. So, whoever gets the most kills or whatever. There was, I think, a survivor mode. Anyway, cool thing about the Warhawk, it was, in my opinion, it had probably some of the best 6 axis controls. So it was and you could drive planes and tanks and cars and whatever. And one of the jets they could play as, it had you could use the motion controls, and if you put the jet in the options into pro mode, where like it doesn't auto do backflips or auto do this kind of stuff, you could do some crazy ass stunts and shit while you're playing the game.
Oh.
It was a really fun game. I really wish they would re-release it.
No, I only remember using like the 6 axis during like maybe some first party PlayStation games. Like maybe I think Ratchet and Clank
Ratchet and Clank, you said.
Tools of Destruction did.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. I can't remember.
Yeah, they had like
too many examples.
Yeah. No, yeah, the Warhawk was rad. It was really cool. I wish they would do something with that IP. They could totally make it into Sony's battle royale if they wanted to with vehicles and shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what Sony's doing now. They could make a battle royale Twisted Metal.
Man,
that would be also cool.
We will see. My guess is they're gonna be like half-assed as they always do every generation. It starts off as, yeah, we're gonna use haptic feedback in all these games, and they'll use it in like 20% of the new games, and then by then it'll just be pushed aside. No one cares.
Yeah. Well, shit. My OBS stopped recording the. No, I mean it's recording. It stopped recording the Discord window for whatever reason.
Oh well, luckily I've had it open this entire time.
Yeah, I don't know why. Jesus Christ. Come on, OBS. It was messing up when I was actually trying to capture footage from my capture card. So I actually had to use XSplit to capture footage, which it was nice that it was finally working well with my capture card, but dude, I'm tired of using all these programs.
It's all good.
I just want to have one program that kind of does a little bit of everything. Is that so hard?
Yes.
Is that so goddamn difficult?
Because how are we going to differentiate ourselves and force you to download our software?
I know. Yeah, for whatever reason, it's not popping up anymore. God damn it. Sorry, guys, that's my fault. I don't know why.
Man, you're okay. So we don't have any more like main gaming news. So I wanted to ask,
yeah,
what was your origin on gaming? How did you get into this medium that we are all so entangled in?
Well, I was a little kid, and I had cousins and stuff that had gaming devices and stuff, and that's kind of how I got started, more or less. Nothing like really special. There's definitely a couple games that made more of an impact on at least with what I remember than anything else.
Yeah. What hooked you in?
One of those was like the first game I remember like sitting down and passing was all right, it's back. Awesome. All right. The first game that I remember like completing all the way through was Ocarina of Time.
Oh.
Yeah, and even that one took a very long time to to complete because I remember for the first like 3 months of playing that game, we straight up didn't know what we were doing. Like we had no idea what we were doing. I remember one of our older cousins, his name was Peter. He came in and he was like, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" And we're like, "Oh, we're just kind of stuck in like the Cockery woods." And then he straight up just went into the first temple and just beat it for us. And we're just like, I remember we're getting out of the woods and we're just like, "Oh, there's a whole field out here. You could do so much more. You have to go to this castle. You have to sneak into the castle. Like everything just opened up after that. Literally stuck in the Cockery Woods for like. I remember we played this game almost every month. I mean, every day. Just like put new game every single time. Get the sword and then just run around and do absolutely nothing.
Yeah. No, that's not a easy game to get into as a kid because there's a lot to like take in.
Yeah, it was just like it was one of those things where I was just like, why would you why would you make a game kind of like this, you know?
Yeah, I was used to turn-based RPGs like Chrono Cross, not Chrono Cross, but Chrono Trigger first. I played a little bit of, and then
Yeah,
Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, and then Legend of Zelda. I was stuck on the Great Deku Tree for a good month, and then
yeah,
eventually
dude,
I found my way out and got to the Hyrule Field, went to the castle, and figured the game out. That's when the game really sunk in. I'm like, oh, now I understand the mechanics and what
yeah,
you're
and
asking me
even
to do. But before, I was like, what the hell is all this Z targeting and all this stuff? It's crazy.
before that, I remember let's see, stuck in the Deku Tree. Then the next place I remember getting stuck was I actually the what's it called, the Dongos, the cave,
Oh yeah,
because I the bomb thing and the bomb bracelet. I remember like just not being able to get bombs and needing to get bombs and not knowing what to do. And Jabba Jabba's belly, just because I would. For you guys don't know, and I still kind of get confused whenever I replay that section. There's like a part where you have to destroy like 4 or 5 different tentacles, I think, and it's just the way leading to them is just confusing because it's a very similar looking hallway.
yeah.
Um, and then after that, I remember we were pretty good up until the water temple, and even during the water temple, after that, go trying to get into the shadow temple
Yeah,
because if you never played Ocarina of Time, to get into the shadow temple, you need the lens of truth,
but you gotta
and
go to that
that
graveyard.
isn't. Yeah,
Yeah, I
wait,
remember.
yeah, and that was just it. Just those games, like playing it as an adult, it makes more sense. But trying to play that as a kid, like good, good luck trying to play that
No,
game without any help.
I'm pretty sure I had to bring my copy, like the game cartridge, over to my friend's house to help me beat the water temple. I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure that's what happened. Cause like if you were the kid in school who knew how to beat certain games, which I could beat like the Metroid series, so if someone
Hmm.
wanted to play like Super Metroid, they would come to me and I would help them beat it. Or Metroid on GameCube, I beat that, and people would ask me to help them out with that. But Legend of Zelda, I had to go to like one of my friends' houses, and he helped me beat the Water Temple. Yeah,
Yeah, no, Legend of Zelda. That's the one that took a while. The other one I remember kind of leaving like a big impact was like the Wind Waker, because I remember I did not like that art style when it came out, and then I really ended up liking it afterwards.
yeah.
Um, Soul Calibur 2, because that was probably the first fighting game that I really actually liked.
Hey, so you were a big
Um,
Link fan, man.
oh yeah, yeah, for sure, absolutely. Um, let's see. I remember. There's so much I just can't think of it. I remember playing a lot of Super Smash Bros. Melee and a lot of Mario Kart Double Dash.
Oh,
Like so much Double
Double
Dash.
Dash is the best Mario Kart game. Period. I'm sorry, that game is so fun.
Yeah,
I didn't even think it was gonna be that good.
we would always play the baby stage because it would have like 7 laps instead of 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then just it'd get crazy just having 4 people on there with all the items and stuff. And the level is so small that you can like hit anything at anybody at any time.
Yeah.
Um, trying to figure out what else I played. I wasn't that into platformers. I wasn't into shooters. I wasn't into Legend of Zelda. I was a little bit into RPGs too. Like I really enjoyed Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
I got Kingdom Hearts 2 when it first came out. And then towards the end of the PS2, I got really into Metal Gear. Like
Oh
really,
yeah.
really into Metal Gear. Where I played Metal Gear Solid 3, and then I went back and I played Metal Gear Solid 2, and then Metal Gear Solid 1, and then Metal MGS4 came out, and then I played almost all the other ones since then.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I was really. I remember playing. I remember watching my cousins play Metal Gear Solid 3 and like, oh man, this game is so stupid. Why would you even play a game like this? Like, oh, your ammo runs out. There's all these animals that attack you. There's all these guards. Like, you don't even have to kill them. You can just go around them. I just remember going like, this is so dumb. And then one of my cousins let me borrow the game, and then I remember just playing it and then getting stuck in it for a long time, and then kind of plowing through it right after that.
Yeah. My cousin Michael had Metal Gear Solid 1. And I remember he tried to let me play it, and I played the first level, which you're on, what is it, that snowy level? I forget what the place is called.
Shadow Moses.
Yeah, Shadow Moses. Very famous location in Metal Gear. And you're like running around, and I remember hearing one of the guys look at my footsteps, and he was like, "Oh, I found some footsteps." And he starts tracking you to your location. I was like, I don't want to play this anymore. Like I was like, yo, I gotta turn this off. How did he know? I was so scared. I turned the game off. I was like, bro, I can't play this. This is too scary.
Did you ever the first game that I actually got scared at, I remember getting scared at was like shit.
Oh, I was definitely Resident Evil. 100% Resident Evil.
Yeah, Resident Evil.
Holy
I had an
shit.
uncle that would play Resident Evil 2, and I would just he would turn it on. I would just like leave the house. I was like, I'm gonna go outside. Fear
it.
the first Fear. I remember playing the demo, and that was one where I got scared playing it, and I was like, I can't play this.
Oh, Fear. Oh, Fear was so good. I love playing that game.
Yeah. I don't know what happens to that franchise, but I remember the demo for the first one on the Xbox 360. I legit got scared because it was like a girl walking around the hallway, and I was like, I can't play this game.
I remember playing Fear 1 and Fear 2. 3, I think, was where I just was like, I don't care anymore. But they were really good. The AI was really good in Fear 1, Fear 2.
Yeah, and then there were some. Yeah, okay, I remember getting scared. The other thing I remember that scared the shit out of me was freaking in Super Mario 64, the eel.
The eel?
There's an eel that swims in the water level,
Yeah.
like at the bottom.
Jolly Roger Bay? No, not Jolly Roger Bay. It's the one before that.
I don't know. I don't know the stage, but I remember there's a huge eel,
Yeah.
and I remember not wanting to play Mario 64 because of that eel.
Yeah. I remember the eel. It wasn't Dire Dire Docks. It was the level before, the water level before that one. But I remember the eel. Most people say the piano.
No, I don't remember anything about the piano.
In the Boo stage,
I don't even know what the.
when you go into the Boo world, there's like a room
No.
that has a piano that comes to life and tries to chomp you up.
I remember. No, that part wasn't that bad, but the eel, that definitely scared the shit out of me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Resident Evil scared me. I had to play that game without the sound on, and even then, it still scared the shit out of me.
Oh man, I feel like that would scare me more, just because you'd be just so focused on what's going on in the game.
Yeah, I didn't like that game. It took me like a year to finally play it. Yeah, but
the other game that like I remember wanting to play but not finishing it was I remember they called it like a Zelda clone, but it wasn't. It was an RPG, but it was Quest 64. I always kind of want to see how that game finished.
I remember
I never got to see it finish.
the title, but I never played it.
Yeah. I remember kind of a little bit like Legend of Zelda, where we just didn't do anything in the main game, being stuck in it for months and months, and then somehow figuring out that eventually you have to go into the forest, and then there's a guy that stole something or money. You have to take him out. And I remember going like, "Oh shit, this game opens up."
Damn. So you got your start on like N64.
Hmm?
Okay. Because my origin
uh,
is Sega Genesis.
oh, yeah, I didn't play anything prior to N64 that I really remember.
Damn. I'm old.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't remember anything prior to that. I'm pretty sure I played some games like Sonic. I just don't legitimately just don't remember them.
Yeah, I remember playing Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo Entertainment System. I think my grandpa had it, and he bought it from my aunt, I think. And I went over to
Yeah,
his house and played it, but I didn't really care too much for it. It was cool. Duck Hunt was another game then, which was alright. But then when like the Genesis came out and Sonic came out, which of course is why I got
yeah.
Sonic. Sonic is like the thing that just made me like, oh my god, gaming is so cool. I love gaming. I'm gonna keep playing games.
So I thought somebody was at the door because I thought everybody left for like they went to go to a family member's house, and I was just like, is somebody actually here?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just yeah, Genesis, Dreamcast, all that Sega stuff. I didn't even really know half it existed until like after it was all over.
Damn. But I mean, Nintendo
I just
64 is a good time to get in because that was a really good era.
Yeah, just let's see, Mario, Star Fox, Zelda. I will say, you know, there was a scene in Majora's Mask that actually scared me because that one, Majora's Mask.
Yeah, that was a
By
creepy
that
ass
time,
game.
yeah, by the time that came out, I was a little bit older and I could figure out like other. You know, I think Oracle of Ages or Oracle of Seasons came out after before that, so
Mm-hmm.
I was able to kind of get a. I understood games a lot more,
Yeah.
or at least game logic, and Majora's Mask was really trippy just because you got the big moon, and then like I remember when you get to the last temple, like in that little, it was kind of like a little town. There was like a guy that's fused with a mummy. I remember that scared the shit
Oh
out of me.
yeah. Before you hit like the temple in the sky.
Yeah, this just it was really weird. It was very definitely very adult themed.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I got older. Like I was playing Majora's Mask and I
Yeah,
was just like, "Oh,
like
business as usual, just typical Zelda shit." And then when you get older and you look back, you're like, "Wow, that game was really dark. It had a lot of death,
very dark,
a lot of
very
adult
dark,
themes in there."
very dark. Very a lot of people were depressed. I remember
Yeah.
uh, the everyone thought that the world was ending. Just very not how the fuck Shigeru Miyamoto gonna let Majora's Mask be its thing? But then Paper Mario's like, no, too much backstory.
I don't know. That's a good question. Good, because there were a lot of people who would just deny that the world was gonna end. Some people were really fucking
Yep,
scared. It was
yep.
a lot of emotions from those characters.
Yeah, it was like a lot of emotion, and then it was also like how do you say it? Like um like I don't know. Like some of the side missions you had to do just had like weird endings,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
they did.
Like like there was one where you had to stop the aliens, and that one was always like for me stress inducing.
Oh yeah, 'cause you had to kill the aliens before they abducted the cows.
Yeah, and that one
Good
also had to do
times.
with the ranch. That one before that, the ranchers they were I think one of them would attack you because you had to kind of sneak out, and he was kind of like chasing you. Um, yeah, there's just so much random shit, and it's just way more that my little brain could comprehend.
Yeah, like the Zora chick who was part of the band and then died.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and then the weird thing about that game is that like you wouldn't see people happy until after you beat the temple and it kind of like cleaned up whatever area you were in.
Mm-hmm.
but then you wouldn't spend too much time in that because you would always have to reset the clock.
Yep.
So you would almost never really see what the area kind of cleaned up looks like until you had to unless you went back to the temple and then beat the boss again and then restored order. And that was just something that was, I don't know, it was just also unusual because there's probably a lot of secrets that I missed just because I didn't want to do that again.
No, to be honest, it didn't seem like it was more of a happy ending for like the area and the people in it. It just kind of seemed like they were content rather than
Yeah.
sad and depressed and all that shit.
Wait, hold up. I think someone's talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah, Majora's Mask was just, it was a really weird game. It's definitely my favorite Zelda game though.
Yeah.
Out of all of them right now, it really really is. I really wish I could play the 3DS version. I never got a chance to.
Yeah, I think Ocarina of Time is going to be my favorite, but Majora's Mask is definitely the one that's like most unique, I think. It's very cool.
No. For me, it used to be Ocarina of Time, and then I really enjoyed Majora's Mask. Just because I replayed both of them a couple of times, and I really just ended up enjoying Majora's Mask more. There's just like more options of stuff you can do. The masks made it cool
Yeah.
that you could like run faster, do a weird dance, just do random stuff.
Yeah, the side quests were dope too. I like that part of it. It made a big
Yeah,
difference.
those that side quest tracker, which really kind of made everything nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, which like I don't know. There's just a lot. There's so much cool stuff, and then the you knew when things were gonna happen because everything happened in a certain order at every part of the map.
Yeah. You got used to the flow of time.
Yeah, and it's a really really cool. Oh man, my thing just I don't know what's going on with my OBS, dude. It's just decided to not. It just crapped the bed again.
Don't worry about it. Just use my version. I mean, all right.
Yeah. No, it's just kind of weird because I'm just like I hope this doesn't do this whenever I'm streaming.
Uh,
Hmm. Anyway, but yeah, that's all I got. You want to add anything else?
uh, no, I think well, there was one thing I was gonna say. I know Just MK came onto my channel. He was asking about
Oh,
the long
yeah, what's he doing?
sets. Um, yeah, he was just asking me like, what's the courtesy for long sets, and I'm like, there's no real
What do you
rules.
mean?
Like when you play fighting games with players, typically you do like what is it like a first to three or first to five or first to 10, depending on who you're playing. Um,
Hmm.
he was just asking if there was like any rules or anything. Like you kind of set the rules, but usually there's no rules unless it's like a first to 10 or first to five, which is
Okay.
usually if it's like a first to 10 or first to five is when you lose a set or you lose a game, you can switch a character, but if you win, you can't switch characters, which is usually the general rule if it's like an official type of match. But if it's not official, there are no rules. Just I would say when it comes to long sets, play people who are better than you so you can learn and get better as a
Yeah,
player.
that's a big one.
Yeah, because playing short sets, you can't really get into your opponent's head and see their habits and what they like to do, certain options they'll take when they're doing certain strings or certain setups. That's why long sets always help you improve as a player.
Yeah. The other thing too is just like I mean, I don't know. You can probably get better advice than me on this one because you know way more about all that stuff than I do.
Yeah, but you've also been
Uh,
improving, so you can speak on it too.
yeah, but I always want to like I don't know, like I always for me like a big thing is just like um oh, are you doing better? Can you identify your own issues? Like I think once you can begin to identify your own issues, you're good.
Yeah, um,
It's
I
like well, at least.
definitely I couldn't do that when I first started getting into fighting games, like especially when Street Fighter 4 came out, which is when a lot of people
Mhm.
came in, which is what now a term called the 09ers. I never watched my replays. All I wanted to do was just win. I never really like used any better players to gauge my skill off of, which is why it took a long time for me to get pretty decent at that game. So it's a part of getting good. You have to do that. You have to watch your losses, and you have to look at your gameplay, and you have to compare it to who you want to see as who you think is a good player. You have to compare it to them and look at your faults.
Yeah, like in DOA, which is probably because only real fighting games I played are DOA and Soul Calibur, and Soul Calibur is it's cool. It's faster and slower in some other ways than DOA. Like Soul Calibur compared to DOA has so many more defensive mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Because in Soul Calibur you can sidestep, you can block, you can do a parry, you can do a parry is an attack that only a couple characters have. You can do like an actual
You can do a guard impact. I've seen that.
yeah, guard impact, which is like
Yeah.
which is like a parry, except it doesn't lead to an attack.
And what's the one
So
where
then
you
there's the guard impact.
clash?
There's the reversal edge.
Yeah, reversal edge.
Yeah, which is once again it's a defensive attack. There's the sidestep. There's that. There's you could also duck, and then with one of the newer updates, they also added where you can do like a perfect guard impact, where if you press the reversal edge button and guard impact at the same time, you can do a better guard impact. I don't know exactly what that means. And then you have some moves that are like just frame moves where if you do them correctly, they can do more. They can do more damage or they can be faster. It has so many. That was not a defensive one, but it just has so many defensive tools compared to DOA. Where versus the DOA, you can block, duck, sidestep, go forward, go backwards, and then you can do a hold, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, I feel like DOA is a. I came from like Street Fighter, and the mindset from Street Fighter is a lot different from the mindset you use to play DOA.
Yeah,
Because DOA, you're kind of always. You want to see what your opponent's reacting to, and you want to see how they play. Because a lot of their play style matters. Do they hold a lot? Do they finish strings? Do they grab after certain moves? Are they using safe moves? Or are they maximizing their stun damage? Are they going for grabs after stun? So you really got to get into your opponent's head and also play your own game and be able to switch it up if you want to be good at DOA. While in Street Fighter, it's mostly neutral, making sure your combos are always on point. You want to have resets. You want to have a good strategy. And you also don't want to be put in the corner. That's a big thing as well.
yeah, and that's one thing with the newest Soul Calibur is that they started incorporating some. Well, they used to have corner mechanics before, but like they seem a little bit more prevalent now. It's something that people want to put you in a corner. And then the other thing too with Soul Calibur 6 is that more people want to do combos, because Soul Calibur traditionally hasn't been a combo fighter.
Yeah, it was more like poke heavy.
Yeah, it's poke heavy, and then like you'll have combo strings, but the most at most it'll be like 2 or 3 attacks.
Yeah.
It won't be something that's very you just don't have very stringy attacks. So you can combine a couple of strings especially if your opponent's doing something they're not supposed to create like an artificial combo. But those I don't like that because to me it doesn't feel fluid like it does in like DOA.
Yeah.
So and then the other thing too is that and then let's see. And the other thing too with the most recent Soul Calibur 6 is that the other thing they introduced was what's it called, the thing that anime fighters have, which is like gimmick characters.
Yeah, go.
And Soul Calibur 6 has way more gimmick characters than it's ever had before.
2B looks like a gimmick character. She looks very combo heavy. I could be
Which
wrong. 2B, the chick from Nier Automata.
Yeah, she's very, very combo heavy.
Yeah, she looked like it.
Yeah, and that's almost like her gimmick because there's very few characters in that game that do combos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Sasalamel, he can kind of stop time by putting curses on you. freaking Astroth and some other characters too. They have what's called like it's almost like a revenge mechanic, which is basically you get armor, which which isn't something that the game really used to have before.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like there's armor moves, and some characters have access to them. Um, a character like Astroth is the character I played the most. Like he's a very slow character, but during Soul Charge, like 30 of his moves become 10 frames faster.
Damn. 10
So
frames
like
faster. That's a big difference. That's a whole new
it's
character.
a huge yeah, it's a big difference. It's a huge difference. So it's and you gotta like almost every one of his moves just gets insanely faster, and it still makes him a slow character compared to the rest of the cast. But it's like a lot of characters have like these gimmicks, which I think is good for Soul Calibur because it keeps the fights fresh and exciting. Well, but I know there's people that don't like them.
Yeah, I mean, I know Atmo got me Soul Calibur. I think 6 is the most recent
Mm-hmm.
one, and I just couldn't get into it. So I'm like, this shit just has too many mechanics for me to get into it.
Yep,
Because I'm like, I'm already playing Street Fighter, DOA, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, freaking 8 million different fighters. I'm like, I can't add like Soul Calibur onto it. It looks cool. It's just, it's got so many mechanics. I'm like, ah.
yeah, it's got a lot of 2D mechanics kind of implemented in like a 3D way,
Mm-hmm.
especially stuff with like the parrying, like the guard impact. Like that's you could guard impact almost any move.
Yeah,
Like
that
you
was
just
annoying me. And then the reversal edge was really pissing me off because people just kept doing it all the time. I was just really
that's
fucking
a
mad.
that's definitely a noob killer. That's something that you can do against noobs, and they can you kind of get away with it. But it's cool. A lot of people didn't like that mechanic as much because they thought it was like a get out of jail free card. But I don't know. Like the game has so many different defensive mechanics. There's always something. There's always an option, more or less.
Yeah, I feel like I would need to
That I know.
drop one game to pick that game up.
Yeah,
And
you
I
just
ain't doing
don't
it.
have the brain. Um, what's it called? The brain spectrum for it.
Yeah, I need a
You're
bigger
filled
hard
up.
drive for that, man.
Yeah, I like Soul Calibur a lot though, but once again, the games I kind of resort to, Soul Fighter, Soul Calibur, and DOA 6, and DOA 6 is just it's a good simple game,
Mm-hmm.
way simpler than Soul Calibur, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't understand why DOA is not more popular. I've talked about it way too much on my own stream, so I'm just like that's a game that should have been way more popular.
Yeah, it's fun. It's I love going from like different spectrums. Like Street Fighter was so neutral heavy and combo, like 1 frame, 2 frame links and certain setups, to go into DOA where it's like you gotta throw to punish and maximize your stun game. You can play with the stun system and launchers and different things and predicting your opponent's moves. So it's a big difference from Street Fighter, which I like it.
Yeah, I would say give if you give Soul Calibur another shot, I would say definitely just go from the I would say is just go from character to character and be like the moment you don't like them, switch off and pick somebody else.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because so many of the characters at this point are a little bit more gimmicky than they ever used to be. So they just play drastically different from one another.
Okay.
Even the two characters like Nightmare and Siegfried, they're they're split and they're just totally different characters at this point. They're like Nightmare has some armor moves. Nightmare gets way faster and combo heavier when he's in Soul Charge,
Mm-hmm.
and Siegfried he's got like a secret powered up mechanic where if you do an attack after a certain amount of times, he can actually just get stronger on his own.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a secret meter he has.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's just I don't know. I like how gimmicky the games get. I don't think that's a bad thing when games kind of get gimmicky. It's one thing I like about Smash Brothers a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's inherently a bad thing. It's just does it feel gimmicky or does it not? And that's I think the make or break point with a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I use a gimmick character in Tekken. Eliza, definitely a gimmick character. She's 2D in a 3D game
Why is she a gimmick character?
because she's literally like a 2D fighter in a 3D game. She plays the game like Street Fighter, but she's in the Tekken system. which is cool.
Yeah, and then in DOA, I like using Lei Fang, and she's just so. Is Lei Fang considered high tier or not? I legit don't know.
I hear that she was literally super high tier in DOA 5
Hmm.
because it uses a different system than 6. But in 6, I hear
Yeah,
she's okay. But if
yeah,
you are
but
very good with that character, you can make her work at high levels. Black Moon's been doing it for a while.
yeah, and like I like how Lei Fang has a lot. She has like four different parry attacks, and then she's got a couple different holds, and she's got a stance that operates as a hold, and she almost feels like a gimmick character compared to some of the other staff.
Yeah, but I feel like if you know every character and you know the system like to the T,
Yep,
you can make Lei Fang broken as shit.
you can make almost any character in DOA because that's DOA is so kind of like Street Fighters. It's so focused on well, I don't know if maybe Street Fighter, maybe Mortal Kombat's closer comparison, but it's so focused on the fundamentals of whatever the fundamentals are for its game that if you just have really really solid understanding of the fundamentals, you can just kind of win with almost any character.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Street Fighter definitely
Yeah,
has a bunch of gimmick ass characters, but hey, it's all good.
yeah.
Street Fighter.
All right, I am ready. I'm ready to get some food. I am hungry.
Hell yeah, man. It's been a good one, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you guys want to follow me, twitch.tv, I-heart-gaming, Ramiro Avalos _YT on Twitter. Yeah, it's been fun. I heart gaming on YouTube.
Yeah, Rich Matic. Yo, it's Rich Matic on Twitch. Yo, it's Rich Matic on Twitter. Just Rich Matic on YouTube. Give your boy a follow.
All right, I'll catch you later. Peace out.
Peace out, guys. Have a good one.